Vanakkam, Namaskaram, Namaste, Salam, Sabor, and salutations. Now, here's an update on the 1860 monument. Most of you, I think, are in the dark, and that's purely because in the last 15 years or so, since the idea was mooted back in 2010, the government, as well as the people who represented the Indian community in this project, have failed dismally to disseminate the information to the public. Hence, you and I, the Indian public, are literally in the dark. Last year, in his first State of the Province address, the new Premier, Tharmiyan Tuli, confirmed that the construction of the monument was going to go ahead. I, as founder and leader of the 1860 NIC Congress, wrote to the Premier calling for an immediate halt to the construction, calling for more public participation because me, like you, had no idea what the monument was going to be like. Sadly, the Premier's office never responded, and neither the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, who were mandated by the Premier to respond. However, thankfully, the construction was halted. Now, last week, the MEC of Sports, Arts and Culture called a meeting of concerned people on the steering committee and those who were involved to find a way forward on the monument. Sadly, although I was the one who raised an objection last year, I did not receive an invite. But, as you can see, I'm somewhere there. I made my way there anyways. Now, there was a Mr. Vasi Govender sitting somewhere here. I think that's him there. When I was offered the podium as the last speaker, he and some others vehemently denied me the right to speak, saying there was no place for a politician. I took comfort in that. I felt that he felt, and those who objected felt intimidated by my presence. In fact, clearly, I was the strongest person in this room. Now, this was the original design that we saw up on the screen. That's why it looks this way. We took a picture of the screen because nobody's really seen all these designs. First time I've been seeing it. But this is the original design, and at the center of the design is the bell tower. And this bell tower is what became the bone of contention in the meeting and the plans going forward. And what's another reason the plans were stalled. Now, the bell tower, for those who don't know, this is the bell tower. Well, it's the bell tower minus the bell. Obviously, the bell tower houses the bell. Now, what is the significance of this bell tower? Now, this bell, hanging on this bell tower, was used in the sugarcane fields. It was rung early in the morning to signal the start of the day for our forefathers to start work on the sugarcane fields, and then rung late in the evening, signaling the end of the working day for them to return to their quarters. It was also rung in the case of fires in the sugarcane fields, wherein our forefathers had to run into the fields to extinguish the fire. Now, many have argued that this bell tower and the bell is indeed a symbol of slavery. That was the argument. They then put forward this suggestion, which in the first place, I don't know why those who came up with the design never ever featured this there. But rightfully so, they argued that the cane cutter carrying cane with his family was a better, more accurate description of our forefathers' indentured labor and their arrival and their plight in South Africa, which I agreed with. So then, this group that were gathered, which supposedly represent you, the Indian community, voted unanimously to remove the bell tower from the design and have the indentured family at the center of the monument to be sculpted from bronze to stand about 3 meters high, set on a plinth. That's where they will stand, and that will be the center and main attraction of the monument. And so this is supposedly the final design of the monument, featuring the indentured laborer family there. There we go. And around it is a bit of a kraal effect and some other stuff will be there. But that is the central point of the monument. The site for the monument is in the Ushaka Marine Precinct. Now, personally, I felt that we as a community were being railroaded in this meeting into making a quick decision for the sake of progress because it had been stalled for so long. But a lot of that blame has to be laid at the feet of those who approved the design in the first place that did not get much public approval, and why they had left out these indentured laborers, this cane cutter, why it was left out of the original design. The mind boggles. Look, I will be checking the progress of this monument. I will be in touch with the steering committee and those in charge to keep you in the loop as to what's really going on in the progress. I know for a fact the sculpture, the bronze sculpture, is going to take about 8 to 10 months to complete. Now, this historical feature brought to you by SK Auto Sales in Pietermaritzburg. If you're looking for a quality used vehicle at great prices, go see Johan. He's most of Vito, but he dollar for you. Dollar what you must. Dollar what you crave, but don't dollar flop. Don't dollar with the masala.